everyone, thanks for stopping by. I'm Kara Elizabeth, a 3-5 emotional manifestor, here to provide you with your weekly energetic weather report via human design, a system that combines aspects of astrology, the I Ching, the chakra system, and the Kabbalistic tree of life. Now, every human design journey begins with looking up your unique human design chart, and you can do that at www.myhumandesign.com. Transits are the specific energies that are present in the universe at any given moment. I go over the sun and earth, the sun being our main experience and the earth being how we're grounding in it. And each transit tends to hang around for about 6 days. Now, my goal is to provide you with a general cosmic heads up on how you can expect to feel, what you can expect to experience, and how to best navigate your week. So if you're ready to go, let's get started. All right, you guys, so it is that time of the week again. The transits have officially shifted. And I know I felt the shift this morning. Couldn't sleep, woke up at 2, and the baby couldn't sleep either. There was like a definitive moment of when those transits shifted early this morning. So if you felt it, you're not alone. And we are also back transiting the throat and the root center. So if you thought we were done there, think again. We are back with these throat and root transits. So this should be fun and interesting. Definitely different than what we have been experiencing lately. So we are transiting the sun, gate 56. This is the one that's coming out of the throat. And then the earth is moving through gate 60, which comes out of the root. And the gate 60 is all about limitations. And with that being transiting through the earth, that's how we're grounding. So I'm really curious just to dive in and see what this one's going to be all about, because it's kind of got my head in a spin, because it's just so different from, I feel like, the energy that we were in. Like, I just feel like a complete 180 shift. So let's just go ahead and dive right on in, shall we? Yes, we shall. So gate 56, Jenna Zoe calls this one feeding the spirit. So let's see what she has to say about this. You are a spirited person who is here to enrich your own life and other people's lives by communicating with imagination and creativity. People with this gift often are great storytellers and entertainers because this gift is based in the creative right brain. When you're talking to people, you're not here to just relay the facts. You are here to spark them or make them feel something. So if you need to use fantasy and a little bit of embellishment, you do, because this opens up people's imaginations. So this gift is less concerned with what was than what could be. So you're not meant to communicate so literally, but more in a way that makes people think or feel in a new way. So sometimes you like to say things that jolt or rouse people because you love the interplay between different points of view. And this helps you explore. And also, reverse a little bit. When I talk about you, and I'm speaking from the point of view of you, yes, I'm talking to you and whoever else decides to listen to this, because this is going to be every single person in the collective humanity, everyone alive right now, right, is going to be experiencing this energy as their main experience today and for the next 6 days, okay? So I don't know, I felt the need to explain that just a little bit. This is going to be every single person's, humans on this planet's experience, okay? So anyways, in your thoughts, you like to create fantasies and enjoy spending time in the worlds of fiction. It is critical for everyone else's enjoyment of life that you go there and allow yourself to go there. So I know we've been conditioned that this is not a good thing, is to live in la la land, but allow yourself to do that this week, if only for this week, okay? Just experiment with it. Let yourself go, okay? Fuck the rules. Think of how many people's lives are enriched because, for example, J.K. Rowling spread her imagination far and wide with Harry Potter, okay? Just think about that. So, how can we make the most of this energy? And the first thing is by not judging it. So what I just said, this is something that most of us don't allow ourselves to do, this is something I hear a lot, like most adults telling children this, right? Like, grow up. Like, I don't know, I can't tell you how many times I heard that, like, as a youngster. You need to grow up. You're so immature. Blah, blah, blah. You're living in a fantasy. Like, gosh, you're so dramatic. What an imagination you have. Well, guess what? If you hear that this week, take it as a compliment, okay? And don't stop, all right? Don't judge it. Don't allow yourself to stop playing in fantasy. So, as silly as you may judge this gift, it's a very serious undertaking, actually. So without people like this, we would never be moved to make something better than it is. We need to dream up better versions, create ideals and fantasies that we can then aim towards. We would stay stuck in the scientific, which is also good, but this energy we're all tapping into this week, this is our balancing force. Now, the next way that we can make the most of the energy this week is by learning the proper dose of everything, okay? So I'm going to remind you, balance, sensei, okay? Tap into the balance. Don't let yourself go like way overboard, or do, because it's all going to work out anyways. You can't mess this up. So, you know what? Actually, fuck it. Just do what you're going to do, okay? Do whatever you feel like you need to do. But let's talk about the proper dose of everything. So, there are no set good or bad things to eat, to do, or to experience. You and the rest of humanity are here to master the understanding that things are good for you if they feed and elevate your spirit in that moment, and they're bad if they don't. Let me say quote unquote bad if they don't, okay? Some days a glass of wine will enhance your enjoyment of life, and other times it won't. The key is not coming up with dogmatic laws for yourself to feel safer, but to try assessing something in the moment. So the more you can do this, the more you will trust yourself, and therefore, the more you will feel safe in yourself, which you need to if you're going to be open to exploring and trying anything that life has to offer. Okay, so this right here, even though it's a throat center gate, this is totally giving me like sacral vibes though, because the sacral center is very much making decisions in the moment and what it wants to do in that moment. And of course, like it can change from moment to moment. So in this gate this week, think sacral, okay? It's very similar, or at least it feels that way to me. Just do what you want to do in the moment and just allow that to be fluid and to shift, okay? Like I feel like just let it shift with your moods and how you're feeling for the day. Even though this is not technically a feeling, it's also giving me feeling vibes too. Okay, anyways. So now let's move on to what can block us from making the most out of this week. And that is by going to extremes. So because this gift loves to feel stimulated and alive, they can be very prone to stimulating themselves and focusing their attention on too many things that don't actually matter or feed their spirit. Maybe you spent way too much time scrolling social media or watching TV or running from one appointment to the other. It's very, very important that you keep coming back to the question, does this feed my spirit right now? To guide you as to whether what you're doing is right for you or whether you're just chasing stimulation for the sake of stimulation. Everything in its right dosage is always the magic for you. Being the right amount of wild, the right amount of fantasist, the right amount of adventurous. That's the wonder of this gift. And if you listen, it will guide you to your right amounts. And I know she said this already, but I think I just want to say it in my own words, okay? What is right for you may not be right for someone else, Okay, so this is very much, okay, we just came out of the transit where we're tapping into our inner knowing. Okay, so this is where it's going to smoothly transition, and we're still going to tap into what we learned last week about following our inner nudges and our inner knowing and going within to know what's right for us, not what's right for the world, not what's right for anyone else. You are going to be selfish and focus on what is right and correct for you. Let all of the outside noise go. We're continuing this week because only you know what the right dosage is and what's going to create the magic for you. Okay? You know what to do. Okay? All right, let's move on to the Earth transit. Gate 60, this one's coming out of the root. And I have a love-hate relationship with this one, you guys. So this is all about the gate of limitations. And it's, and the whole point, of course, as a human in experiencing any kind of limitation, we do it to ourselves. Yes, you can thank yourself. Anytime we experience something that is limiting to us in any way, we experience that, I believe, number one, just to give us something to do. And then number two, it's to just like flex our muscles a bit to say, oh, well, guess what? I'm going to make the most of this limitation. Fuck limitations. I'm going to tear it down and I can do what I want. I don't have to be in this box anymore. It just makes us like tap into our creativity. I mean, so many things, right? Like as far as when we're experiencing limitations, it's like you can be limited. I'm just using like myself as an example. It's like you can be limited in the amount of money you're bringing in right now. Like your income could drop. Like, and I'm talking me here. This doesn't have to be your story. This is just typically where Kara Elizabeth experiences the most limitation in her life for my own doing. But, okay. I'm getting a little wild here. All right. So I'll experience a limitation as far as like how much money I'm bringing in. It may not be as much as I normally bring in. So I have to do cutbacks, right? But by doing cutbacks, it also helps me tap into my creative energy as far as like, ooh, how far can I make this dollar go? Like, how far can I stretch my coins right now? And then it's like, it gets me tapped into, okay, my love for the bargain. All right. So the bargaining is part of my life purpose. I'm not going to go into it any further than that, but I love me a bargain, and I love those win-win bargains, like where I win, you win, or whatever. Just, I love me a good bargain. And so it really taps me into that, like going out, like if I need an outfit and I'm short on money, like it makes me like really look around and figure out like, like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. Where can I find it at the best bargain? So it really, honestly, like what the limitation does for me is it just truly just brings me back to myself. And it brings me back to tapping into what I'm really great at. And it also taps me into like what feels so good to me in my body. And like I said, that's just my example. Apply that to, apply it if you want or not, but just apply it to something in your life that you maybe might experience the most limitation in. It could be different for everyone. Mine's usually like money and things like that. So, all right. Anyways, let's get into it. Gate 60, root center, tearing down limitations, limits. So people with this gift, which is going to be every single human for the next 6 days, are big dreamers, but they're also super realistic and street smart, a potent combination. You're determined to make stuff happen and are totally intolerant to anything standing in your way, be it rules, restrictions, or red tape. You are here to bust through them, and you have the drive and the resilience to back you up. This gift is about understanding the practicalities of life so clearly. You know how to use boundaries to your advantage. Sometimes rules give us a supportive framework within which to create, and sometimes they can hold us back. This is where we're going to be really great at assessing which is which. What structures are helpful and which structures are holding us back. This ability is going to make us the best kind of achiever because we're not going to be naive about it. We're going to assess our situations before we start and then work with whatever it is that we've got. Work with whatever tools you have. You always, and this brings me back to one of my number one beliefs and my number one mantras that I speak to myself. I always have absolutely everything that I need exactly when I need it. Okay? This is the energy here. You can see what's standing in the way of achieving any goal, and then you can see the way to tear it down. You are going to be the ultimate. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But if you've got grapes, you're going to make a kick-ass grape juice. Resilience and resourcefulness are the names of the game here. Now, how can we make the most of this energy? And that is by embracing our impatience. You're going to have an intolerance for roadblocks, and you get a high from busting through them. This is the universe's way of telling you to keep doing more of this. So sometimes this intolerance for roadblocks can make you impatient, but it's a good kind of impatience, driving you to dissolve the blocks and come out on the other side. However, there is a difference between impatience at the rules, the framework, the structure, and impatience at people. Sometimes you'll find yourself getting frustrated that other people are being too slow or not getting it. But remember that they don't have the same gift as you and are working at their own divine pace, okay? If I can tell you any advice, stop worrying about what other people are doing. Focus on yourself. Okay, moving on. You are meant to be the one who clears stuff out of the way for all of us, which you wouldn't be able to do if everyone knew how to do it. So also, I feel like apply patience to people that don't normally carry this energy in their design. Like me, for example, I do not have this gate defined in my chart. So, although it is a wisdom center for me, this is also not a normal experience for me. And it's probably not going to be a normal experience for a lot of people. So I feel like also be patient with people as they navigate this new energy, okay? Sometimes it gets messy. Sometimes it doesn't. But just have some patience and compassion for your fellow human, okay? Now, what can block us here in this energy? And that is by don't ever get discouraged when you feel a limitation. Use it as fuel to bust through it. Okay, so basically where we can block ourselves in this energy is by getting discouraged when you feel limited in some way. And it's okay if you do. It's that's a very normal human reaction to get discouraged. I get discouraged initially. Okay? It's fine. Just let yourself feel however you need to feel, but just don't stay there is the main point here. So it's easy to let the restrictions and limitations make you feel helpless or powerless, but don't. It's all here to help you. When something appears to stand in your way, realize it says nothing about you or your potential. It's not happening to you to hold you back. It's happening to stoke your fire, to reinvigorate your drive, okay? Go back to the example I said earlier. I feel like that's a perfect example for this energy. Changing your perspective from blocks being negative to being positive is often the biggest and only shift required for you to really be in this gift. These roadblocks are a blessing because they keep you on the path of being who you are, which is a person who's always wanting to expand and evolve. Boom, my friends. There you have it. Those are going to be our main themes, main energies that we're going to be experiencing this week. If you like what you hear, please, please like or follow or subscribe, whatever platform you may be hearing this on. I love recognition. Love, love, love it. Makes me feel so good. Even though I do this for myself, it does make me feel like really, really good when somebody else acknowledges it and recognizes it too, and it helps them. So anyways, there's that. Please like, follow, subscribe, whatever. And also, if you want to work with me or go deeper with me into the transits, I have a Patreon set up where you can subscribe to that. It's super cheap. All of the links are going to be in the details of this post. Yeah, and then also comment like what you're experiencing this week. Also, if you have any questions or just if you want to talk about anything, just leave me a comment below. All right, love you guys. I'll see you next week.